stating what can and can be not done in the park. And it looks prospectively ahead to possible things that may happen in the park, as well as what we currently have. And one of the ones I know that has been commented on was the bridle pass, the horse pass. And, you know, that was in the original ordinance, and we kept it in because perhaps someday there's gonna be horse paths in one of the parks. It wasn't put in there. Now, we didn't add it, we just didn't take it out. Other things in it, we, great, we spent a great deal of time, working with, as far as the dock, and, providing provisions in there for, managing the mooring dock. Other than that, I mean, it's been before the board for a couple of months, and what we'd like to know is what the concerns the board members have, individual board members have, and what changes they'd like to see in it.
I've got, Chris, just a few items. Most of them are clerical.
Would this be good to take everything through page by page instead of page every person does?
Good.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to describe and do like changes and then send it back out to you guys, okay?
Right.
Alright, so, definitions, page 1, yes, of course.
Good.
Okay, so we're on section 1 is just for establishment, 2 is definitions. 3, members, terms, compensation.
On page 2.
Yeah, it says if anybody's got anything, stop her.
Yeah.
Okay, on page 2.
Mm-hmm.
There's a TBD. I'd recommend that that's changed to upon approval of the ordinance.
Okay.
Other than wait for a date, I just put something there that says commencing when this
Upon
ordinance is
ordinance
approved.
What's that gonna be changed to?
Upon ordinance approval.
Ordinance approval or?
Upon approval of the ordinance.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
You don't have to take the notes.
Certainly.
What's the purpose of the length of terms for the various members of the board?
So that you don't have a mass exodus on one day, you have some institutional knowledge over time.
Okay, so it's not to have new people join,
It
keep
could
it
be.
term,
It could be, yes, this was the way it was originally set.
and everybody agrees that that's the best.
And we have one person whose term is expiring this year, and normally what we plan to do is present it to the board at the next meeting to have their term extended unless someone else applied.
But are we asking for applications or asking for interested people? That's my question.
Right.
What's the point of having it in here if we're not going to, if we just wanna keep the same people year after year and everybody keeps reappointed, or do we want the new people, and so we need to open it up for asking people if they're interested before we
I would
put
think
them.
normally it would be opened up, that would be the normal practice in other communities where it's
So then,
opened up.
before it's presented to the board meeting in August for the new appointment, it will be opened up asking.
The board of, the township board would have to
Township
do
board would
that.
ask for applications.
Because they're the appointing
Ask
bodies.
for applications before appointing the one-year person, so their term expires, and then there would be one less person on there until the board determines. So if we're gonna give it 30 days for anybody to express an interest.
But remember that when that 1-year term person, that was only to set up, now they'll have 5-year. So they all become 5-year terms after that. It's just to initially set your board,
Yeah, it's a rotation.
yes, to set the rotation up. So the reappointment will be a 5-year appointment
But I think you're right.
for any of them,
If
or
there's, if one of the positions expiring, you wanna open them up 30 days ahead of the time. And then at the night, we have to approve an appointee. If we didn't have a new one, you might reappoint the same member if you didn't have anybody else.
Right.
I think that's a.
What we can suggest, Chris, is that we can take the responsibility of informing the township that one of our positions is getting ready to expire.
That's what.
And then we can give you the heads up and give you time to like put the call out. So we can say the Park and Rec board will inform the township.
Right, we would ask,
No, we should do it now because it's
Right.
going to expire in August, the
I-
next meeting.
That's what I mean, and we can't put it out there until the board meeting in August.
Yeah, so you're gonna be down
So
one
you can have
person
one
and it's
person
not
off
gonna be.
for-
Or can't we just extend that one person until we,
Yeah,
You know what I
I don't,
mean?
I just am curious, you know, if that's it, if that's what the intent of that is to change, keep the rotation, keep interested
No,
people
no, it was
involved,
to keep-
or to keep the same board forever.
Well, it's to keep the boards from being changed all at once. It's like the township board every 4 years, everybody gets
Everybody.
changed.
Right.
But the DDA set up the same way, with certain members on different years, and that way you don't change the whole board at the same time.
The road commission's that way too.
Yeah, it offers continuity.
I made one more comment there, I wonder if, there should be a member of the board, the township board, on that.
I know we talked about that heavily when we formed the Parks and Rec committee. We talked, cause I thought the same thing, I thought there should have been a board member.
Does it say how many should be on there?
Yeah,
Fine.
5.
You could do 5 or 7, I mean, you know, as long
Well-
as you have an odd amount.
Yeah, cause we talked about that too.
Right, we did, and we thought 5 was, and for some reason, we did not appoint a board member.
And it all reports as an advisory to the township.
Right.
It's not making decisions on its own.
Right.
Makes it advisory.
I don't know, so that's a good thing.
Can we do 30
Okay.
days then, inform the board 30 days ahead of an expiring member, so you have 30 days to post commissioners? Is that acceptable? Or-
But then are they gonna extend until?
that'll be an exception for you, we're just talking about like the
This-
language of the ordinance.
language of the
Okay.
ordinance.
But like for
Because I just
you,
wanted-
they may have to make an exception and extend you. Yeah.
Okay, I have one other item on that page. The chair, we're down at about the lower half of the beginning, it says the chair will create the agenda, lead the meeting for responsibilities. Says the recording secretary will take and distribute for review, but doesn't the secretary need to retain those minutes essentially forever, as I recall, if it's a public building? So,
This is,
they have to be maintained somewhere, and normally it would be with the board.
That is
believe-
correct. That's gonna be part of the bylaws that we're forming.
Okay, well, they could be held with the township.
Right, no, it should be
I
held
think
by
the
the
township is the actual holding body, because it's a, they're a subcommittee.
Okay, then this ought to tell you should have to supply those to the township. I'm just looking at where the minutes are gonna be kept.
Chair will submit approved, minutes to the township clerk.
Or the secretary, I was applying to Patty at the DDA, so I was applying to Patty.
Well, the DDA keeps the minutes in Patty's office.
Right.
Right.
That's where we keep them, so we can do the same.
So, chair or secretary?
Yeah, the secretary, our secretary will provide them to the clerk, once they're approved.
Okay.
That's all I have on that page.
All right, so we have annual report, section 7, purpose, so. Applicability,
Okay,
section
I
9.
can jump on that one just for a moment, there. Down under supervision.
Which one?
Which one are you, no,
We're
we're not there
section
yet.
11. Oh,
Section
you're on
10,
paragraph
I've
by
said
paragraph.
section 9. Okay, any takers, section 10?
Okay, like an auction.
Now we're on section 11. I gotta be
Okay.
fair.
Under section 11, it says the board will be under, I say it is under. I changed the grammatical just to say the board is under the supervision. Words nothing,
The jurisdiction or supervision.
it is under.
Under the jurisdiction.
Okay, because it's
All
just-
approved.
Take out the word in for it is.
Potatoes, potatoes.
I understand what.
Enforcement of ordinance and regulations.
This is one section we did do some, wordsmithing from the original, giving those, because one of the comments have been in the past that the law enforcement in the county had problems enforcing this ordinance because they didn't give that strict ability within the ordinance. So we did do a lot of wordsmithing to make that clear and give them the authority to enforce the ordinance.
We said to lead, you know, be empowered as you read through guidance.
And it can be any local law enforcement, so it can be
Ticket, but
state,
it was to ticket and word to leader.
so it'd be state. If we had a
It's on local ordinances.
They could, if they wanted
They
to.
could. They're empowered.
They're
under
law enforcement in general.
As you said, though, if they will or not,
They
that's a
won't.
whole, no, that's a whole different thing.
But this gives them the authority if they ever change
They
that
choose to.
policy.
Yes, they choose to do so.
Alright, park hours.
Did you have a problem with park hours?
We had this at great debate.
Yeah.
11 seems kind of late, you know,
We
but
did the
I'm not.
signage that's out there, the historical date at times for the parks, and we just kind of wanted to make sure that they're all aligned with each other and the ordinance.
No,
At
that's-
least we did that, we made sure that it matches. Now, if we wanna change it all together, that we have to go change the signage and then that's fine.
I just.
Well, our county cop, when he's working, is supposed to be, what is it, 5 to 3? 5 in the afternoon to 3 in the morning, so that it tells the time he should be able to
Right.
enforce it.
In a perfect world, I would just want that.
So I have a question
I know.
about,
Yes,
except the
sure.
designated camping areas. There's been no camping areas, I don't see any need for extra room for that.
I agree on that as well. Well, what happens if we're, I mean, where's that
That's
at?
an easy change, us.
Then it would be
Strike that,
changed.
except for designated, we'll take that out. Okay, section 14. So this is a section where we have a lot of detail here about things that people shouldn't do by cutting and.
I question,
And most of this was not
because
changed.
I question the orchard that you're, you know, that
And
you're
You raised a
working
good
on.
point about that, right, I know you brought it up last time, so what section is that?
Where's that at?
Well, it says you can't remove
Three.
any plants,
Three.
bark, flowers,
Five.
seeds,
Five.
any plants.
Yeah, I think maybe in the preamble, I can find some language here, unlawful running a public park and recreation to, I could say something except for the community orchard, or I can go to the section and say, what do you think? Just a broad statement about the community orchard.
I don't know what was,
Well,
what was the
one, we
problem
don't
with
have
having that
it.
in there?
Because we have the orchard,
Yeah.
so we're gonna say you can't pick anything off the orchard? It's,
It just says damaged card, mark, transplant, remove plant.
Remove
Does it
any
say anything
seed
about
or
remove
plant.
any seed.
Dead flowers or seed of any tree.
And you could add, should there, something to the fact that any community orchards are available for picking of ripe fruit, so that.
Yeah.
You got me, don't you?
Yeah.
That could be like an allowed under,
Number 5.
Yeah, we're looking at number 5.
Yeah, I can add
Section
a
14.
qualifier to say picking, grapefruit,
It could
any
be,
community
except where
orchard.
permitted in the community orchards.
Yeah,
I wanna say ripe.
Right.
right.
But then who gets the authority to, that's, I guess, a whole nother conversation.
The authority to do what?
Pick from orchard.
The community,
Community.
anybody can go
First
there.
come, first served.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we could extend the wordage to pick fruit for their own personal use.
There we go. I don't wanna
Which-
manage
no.
what are people gonna do with a bag of apples.
No, that,
If they wanna
that,
sell them.
no, that takes out the possibility of somebody coming in with a little truck or a little cart and pulling down all the apples that are mature, all the
That's a good
pears,
point
all
in
the
there.
cherries,
And selling them.
and selling them for second party,
Personal use.
personal use.
Yeah, I would.
And, personal use extends to the family, and,
Or you say no selling.
I wouldn't put no
That's why I
selling,
say
because
personal use.
it's just personal use.
I think it, okay,
Good screen.
it's a good, it's a good observation.
Yeah, very good.
Anything else in section 14? We've got the section 15 with vehicles, and this is also a real, I spent a lot of time on this section too, if I remember correctly.
the only thing I can bring
So we have to have an exception.
do an exception for is amigos or disability, sometimes they have motorized chairs because they can't walk. So I do think there needs to be an exception to that in this ordinance.
Okay. So motorized ADA,
Yeah. I don't know.
devices, or I will go find the right word. The other thing I wanted to say just is for events, that we have, where permits are allowed, where we're allowed to use cars in the park, right?
The car show.
The car show.
Music in the park,
So
See, I
in
don't
the
summer
future,
best.
so in the future, we wanna have,
Well, it doesn't section that, I
do
mean,
we have it already written in there?
yeah,
I
like
swear
any
we
vehicle
did.
except on park roads or such areas as may on occasion be specifically posted and designated as temporary areas. That's
Where's
music in
that
the-
at?
music in the park,
15-1.
that's music in the park, and the car show.
See, I don't think there should be cars in the grass music in the park.
There's not any
Special
cars.
event, well, but we just said that that's a special event.
No, we're talking, okay, it's not cars, it's golf carts.
See, I don't think, so, okay, so my point of view on this is, I just lay sod in my house, right? Cost me a pretty good penny. So I have this out here, it rains, it gets all muddy, right? You're gonna have a golf cart come up. What if they get stuck? Spin the wheels. I don't have a golf cart, so I don't know. You're tearing up the grass that I just spent, or the township just spent, all that money.
Golf carts are designed to drive on grass.
And besides that, if it's
That's just
raining,
my
we don't,
opinion on that,
we don't
because I
have
think
it.
if we allow one, you're just gonna have a, but, that's my
No one
opinion.
said
On the
anything about it
golf
so
carts
far.
is that if we do it for special events like that, then like visitors don't know the difference. They've seen them up there and they come, and then next time they come, like, I'm in trouble because I'm up here with a golf cart and I'm not supposed to. That's the only thing that.
That does have, cause, Andy Rooks watered where they seated up here around the pavilions. And I told him he could run his golf cart and where he waters the flowers on it. He said the second day he was watering up here, some other guy come up with his golf cart,
But it says down there, no motorized vehicle, and then a police officer did go up and tell them at one time, somebody, that they couldn't have their vehicle up there, only for special occasions, and they thought because it'd been up there in the park before, that they could do it. But the sign says right there, no motorized vehicles, so people I don't think just know that they can't. Until you get the ordinance out, they don't know it.
And see, I think we're using the term golf cart, but in this day and age, golf cart is side by side.
Side.
And we've got, even with the motorized signs right next to the stairs, vehicle with 80 tires tore up the hill, going up the hill just last week.
Oh yeah, there's some guy riding around on some kind of vehicle,
But
just
that's,
ripping
you
and
know-
rolling around.
I think, like music in the park, the parking areas should be blocked off. At one time, there were posts around with rope on or something, cable, to keep people from driving out there. When you have music in the park, you have an entrance and you open that up for music in the park and allow the carts in. Other than that, nobody can get in there. I go out there all the time and there's kids setting out, driving their pickups around the back of the pavilion, setting on the picnic tables with pickup trucks out there.
I stopped a guy the other night.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball, they.
Baseball, they drive all the way
Yeah.
around. I stopped a guy and he goes, I'm going to the baseball diamond. I said, you can't have your truck out here. He goes, I'm going. over to the baseball diamond."
And there are posts there that should be set up, and there is actually a fence there, or a gate, for them to go in to work on the ball fields. It can be taken down, but Mitch and the guys took that down and replaced one pole, and it's never been put back up.
So we still
Well,
believe
what
that
are
we
we-
would make exceptions for special events. We only have two things that we'd like to do, right? Music in the park with all the golf carts down at Mill Park, and that's a great success. I hate to see that go. And then we have the car show. So, if we still wanna have the car show, I mean.
Winterfest, because there's snowmobiles at Winterfest a lot of times. Even had antique, beautiful antique.
They were
ones.
down here.
They were, it's still part of the.
But, or do we wanna just have
property
it
of
where
township.
nothing's allowed ever for anything? I mean, that's kind of like
But
the
I
ordinance
think
has
it's
to
like,
be.
let's just say we need some language in there, because the phone call I received was that the sign says no motorized vehicle or car, so I'm handicapped, I can't take my amigo.
Well, that's different, we can do the ADA stuff, I'm talking about golf carts and cars. If we don't wanna have any golf carts or cars ever in any of the parks or any event, that means we don't do the car show. That means we don't do golf carts and music in the car.
You can't do that.
I can imagine that that's,
Those are good events.
right, so if that's not the intent, then what do we wanna leave in the ordinance? Can we just leave on occasion be specifically posted and designated, or do we wanna?
Maybe we just get special permission from the board, because that's what we've been doing all these years. I've been coming to the board and saying it's okay if I have the golf carts, you know, permission to have the golf carts.
I think it could be part of the
I was gonna
permit
say it's a big part of
process.
the permit
Yeah.
process.
That, do
Yeah.
you need a waiver for motorized vehicles?
But then
And
you
where
have-
would they be?
Then you have to have a way to fence off the parking areas to keep people out of the
I
parks.
just put it,
They
it says
shouldn't be
no
there.
carts only, and people don't go past that sign.
And they drove
I know
right
it's a
over,
little thing, but.
they drove right over it today, it's laying.
Well, that's only for music in the park. I forgot to take it away. And when people do drive out there, I tell them they can't drive out, and they're dropping somebody off that's
See my
handicapped, and
point?
they gotta, yeah, we see your
Well,
point.
see, that does kinda happen, if you ever did bring music in the park back up here, was it a couple of years ago when you guys came and asked, you know, golf carts, and we said, yeah, but,
Forgot to tell the cops.
right, we didn't tell the cops, and they didn't enforce it. But then when we did give you the okay, then everybody starts the whole week driving up, and it just ain't for that
But the
Thursday
thing with the new
night.
park too, the bands and all that, and everybody drives up there, and I tell them they cannot park there. We gotta put something of no parking, because even though I tell them, even when they drive right up here, there was a path, there was a driveway going up there, so it has to be even a no parking for, I don't know, there's gotta be, yeah. So, but I understand what you're saying, Bob, about having, that would work.
It needs to be fenced off with a gate, and on special occasions, you open it up. Because people drive by, they see carts in the park, and it's okay to drive in a cart, or, you know, any night of the week I can drive out there, because they're out there on Thursday nights.
Yeah.
Can we put under one, exceptions may be granted by permit only?
That makes it awful difficult.
That sounds better.
What was that, Linda?
Exceptions may be granted by permit only, number one,
Okay, I got it.
section 15.
Yeah.
And I'll put that language in there, look at ADA and motorized vehicles, and I'll try to find the right language that's online.
We have yet to have anything tore up.
Well, exceptions may be granted by permit only or by township staff. Exception. We'll just tell them it's a special permit that they can drive up.
Yeah, special permit.
Yeah, that's it.
We define permit later, we
Okay.
clear it there. Alright, firearms, it's another hot topic.
What's on our agenda?
License to carry.
We debated, we did some, on-site research to look at the concealed weapon laws and stuff, and we found that as a township, we can limit where, the way we have the carrying of weapons.
So even if they have a concealed weapon, in the township, we say that
Yeah, we pulled up, I think, was it, you did.
Well, I disagree, if you have a carry permit, unless there's an ordinance in a local area, you can carry anywhere you want to.
Right, but
So
we
I can go in
can,
the park carrying my gun.
but we can put in an ordinance to
You
limit
can
that.
put in a local ordinance to designate against carrying in that area, like in a park, or in township hall, public area. When it goes to court, I think you might have trouble with it. If I have a carry permit.
That's my question. And I guess because it says that the township clerk would issue a permit.
Your rifle, shotgun, BB gun, yeah, it is number 2, is handshot, bow, other weapon, which would cover force, gunpowder, spring gear, without having to take a permit from the township clerk.
I think maybe that might be kind of, like if you had a starting line gun and the run around the lake started in the park, you wanted to do a shotgun start, I don't know, perhaps.
But so if I'm planning on having my family reunion up in the park, but I have my concealed weapons permit, then I could come to the township clerk and ask her for permit to carry into my family event.
You could say no. You have the
But I
right
would
to
have
say
to
no.
have some grounds to say no, right here.
In our ordinances, you can.
So as an ordinance.
Unless,
But it says you're,
Yeah,
I'm coming to the township to ask for permit.
Oh, well, it says unless
So
you're-
how can I just randomly
say, no, sorry.
deny
Well,
those?
let's back it up a little bit. There's paragraph 1 in section 16 refers to pistols, revolvers, and the like. And there's no, permission there except for starter pistols. And then 2 goes into referring to shotguns, BB guns, rifles, air guns, basically other weapons, which, the permit can be given by the township clerk. Now, I don't know why it was originally drafted like this.
Right, we could take that section out
We could
completely
take that
first.
section out
We weren't
completely
beholden to that, really.
and just put, without, obtaining a permit. I surmise that at some time or another, people were thinking about having, like Boy Scouts going up and having a shooting BB gun, range, for a special event, or a carnival, where you have, pop guns, or, well, it used to be about 22 shorts, in the park, and, nowadays, it's anyway, that was the intent with it, and, basically, the only thing we wanted was to say, the biggest thing most of our members of the park were concerned about were people going in open carry. And that's an issue. I mean, quite frankly, most people around here, if you conceal carry, you don't talk about it, you're not bragging, it's not dropping out of your pants pocket, or, you're bending over and it shows, coming up from the back, bundle in the back. Most people could care less. It's just the open carry part where somebody's parading around like, Minuteman.
I mean, with all the shootings that are happening, if I see a gun, it would kind of freak me out.
Well,
I
I feel
wanna
very
say, I wouldn't
comfortable
want
with
to
having
be
someone
turned
that's,
to-
responsible having a gun. But, having somebody wandering around, holding, their, AR-15.
I think
their,
the way that-
Kalashnikov, that gives me trouble.
And it says there at that first line, it shall be unlawful for any person except a police officer, whatever, to bring in, to a park area. Take out the part that says, without obtaining a permit from the clerk. You don't need that in there. It's just unlawful to do it, period.
Because who would want that responsibility if something did happen?
Right.
Because
she
she said,
allowed
okay, you
her-
can,
she
you can,
authorized
and
the
then we're,
permit.
I understand.
I have a suggestion, and maybe it's to the point of maybe what you're saying too, Mary. I think section 2 is really about carnival games, right?
Right.
So bear with me.
That was the.
Everything ahead of, where it says air gun, spring gun, slingshot, air, water, take gunpowder out, spring air or water. I could wordsmith this to make it appropriate for carnival games. Okay, take a rifle, shotgun, BB, get all of them. So that there's this little kind of bucket of soft kind of type things that are maybe considered gun, but not with gunpowder, that we may wanna allow in carnival games. If people don't wanna even bother with that, we can just take the whole section out. I think that that's what section 2 intention was. People care, do we just wanna strike the whole section?
Honestly, why do we have to have 1, 2, 3, why can't we limit it, shall be unlawful for any person except police officers to carry? I mean, why do we have to specify?
Well, we wanna have, fireworks has to have a permit, that needs its own section. And the first section, is clear about pistol revolvers, then we just kind of, accept track and field guns. So those two are distinctly different, but the middle, the one in the middle we can take out completely.
And I
Take
think
number 2 right out.
if we took that out, it's so, somebody was planning a carnival in the park and they were gonna have carnival games.
Yeah.
Couldn't that be part of the permit?
Yeah.
Really do
Are there
have-
any exceptions to the ordinance which you would
So
require?
you would have these.
I would think that would be
Planned
better to add
activities.
that in, right in the permit.
Sounds good.
Okay.
We'll just take that out.
So number 2 is out.
Yeah. All right. Section 17. And this is about fires and barbecues. I think there's some exception language here. You just have to grow responsibly.
But then, because it says there's no fire except in barbecue grills provided for such purpose,
Mhm.
so I can't bring my portable grill up there and do it myself.
If you're okay with that, we can add language, but you have to be okay with people
But-
bringing up their own grills to the park.
Well, because the number of grills are limited, I mean,
If you're okay with that, that's
No,
people
that's
rolling
fine.
up
I
their
think you
grills,
should
if
add it,
that's
just
okay.
'cause some people bring their own grill, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any limits around the kind or size, or you just want to just say personal grills are
Personal
allowed?
grill, yeah.
Have we ever put more grills in?
There are some.
But, no, I understand that.
Oh,
But they're saying maybe it's not enough, have we thought about putting more grills in? Because did you get into the liability of a fire, starting a fire with a personal grill? You know what I mean? I mean, fire, you can, even with our grills, but.
Might just take out the provided.
I just thought of one thing, some people use a small portable one,
Yeah.
they set it on top of the pavement, you know,
Yeah.
like you just don't do that.
I've done that for years and never,
Yeah, I
even
know, I
scorched the
gotta-
picnic
Is
table.
that,
No, I say, I had that.
I just bring it up, like, I too would be like, if people are responsible, bringing their own personal grills to the parks makes sense, but then you like think of all the responsibilities. Somebody has got a big
People are
propane
responsible.
tank, rolling it out, and they've got, now, maybe it's, you know, direct care and supervision and the responsible
Well,
adult, we just have to hope for the best.
oh, you could, I mean,
Well, not just say,
If you took out the
Nobody's
word
gonna
provided,
read this
all the
before they
fires
do
have to
that.
have a grill.
yeah.
It's just a matter of enforcement.
No, it's not about a bonfire, it's like people just wheeling up a propane grill, like a personal grill and using it.
Oh, you mean one of the big
And a lot of
ones?
people don't use, I mean,
Yeah.
there are still charcoal grills, but I can tell you, I don't use one, I use a
Yes,
Okay.
everyone
little
does grills.
trigger
Even though it's-
smoker, yeah, even the small ones are, you know, the propane.
is that was on that one?
Just take out the word provided.
No, it's not about that.
No,
You're
it's
missing the
about-
point. It's not about being provided. It's like, are you okay with people having propane gas grills that they brought themselves?
But, you know,
Propane or charcoal.
I mean, I don't think you can specify just charcoal grills.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Personal grill.
bring up my pig roaster for my next, and we're gonna do a 200-pound pig up in that park.
Nice.
Let me know when you're doing it, I've never, you know, can we limit the size
How
of it?
how do you control
You
that?
can't, unless you say you can only use 6 loads at a time.
It's just like with the rifle or the guns and carry permits.
Yeah, that.
You know, we probably
event
have
related.
20 people in the park every Thursday night during music in the park with guns, and you don't know about it.
Right.
So you can't police it, why control it, why talk about it?
Yeah,
All right.
I agree.
If you could control it, I'd be like what Chris says, it's the open carriers who I'd say no open carry, but you can't pick them out of the bunch probably, but, 'cause I agree with like Chris, you know, they have somebody open carries, a couple guys say, let's tackle him and take his pistol. They know he's got one, you know?
Are we gonna do the personal grill out then?
Word provided.
No.
Something up there. Yes.
How would you say,
Just
leave
say it.
it unstated? Leave it just the way it is. But the first sentence basically requires them to use the grills up there.
That are
Do we wanna
provided.
take that sentence out and then
Well-
just leave it open-ended?
Part of it is the CYA provision. I mean, that's.
Yeah, if something terrible happens.
It comes back when
Yeah.
something terrible happens, no, they violated the ordinance. That's it. You know, we have, we have an ordinance saying you can't do that, and they violated it. Now, if we put it in that they can do it, then we gave them permission to, well, like we say, set unless we start limiting the size to an 8x12, grill space,
When we'd be more liable for them using our grills that are up there, if they get burnt bad than if they brought their own?
Yes. Well, it would be, it's gonna be both, I mean,
Both.
stupid is as stupid does,
Yeah,
so,
right.
there's
You
no.
know, I'll say as I reread it and take out the except in barbecue grills, period, and eliminate provided for such purposes, it reads nicely. Right, no person shall kindle, build, maintain, or use a fire except in barbecue grills.
So stop.
Stop. That was David's point from the very beginning,
Oh my gosh.
and so
Was I
I went-
ignoring your
you were
comment?
ignoring him, and so I just took pause and reread it with that in mind, and I like how that kind of flows.
Pat had something to say, she was trying to say it